Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Red Flag Life. Life with life living as a red flag. Are you a red flag? What is a red flag? Are you? I am. We need to be honest about it, and we need to face it. So what's a red flag? Well, often in the guy space with YouTube content, the likes of Kevin Samuels, Richard Cooper, the Entrepreneurs in Cars guy, and other names which I don't know because they're cartoons. They're basically cartoons. So what's wrong with these people that don't show their faces? And the girl space has their spaces too, which diss on the dudes. So red flag for the guys, single moms. Red flags for the girls, as in guys for the girls. Men that just aren't interested. Men that don't call anymore. That sort of complex, right? And there's red flags, earning potential, interest for the ladies. Red flags in craziness in the gals that the guys chase. Red flags in, let's face it, illnesses, mental health, IQ, low IQ and high IQ, dysfunctional high IQ people, drug takers, alcoholics, smokers in a way, recreational drug users, or they hit the stuff pretty hard. What else is a red flag? Those are the things that show up, or top of mind awareness. If I think further, I referenced just earlier a couple of names on YouTube, just as a like a guide sort of thing. It's usually the guy-oriented ones, but don't worry, this channel is for everybody. But from time to time, there'll be focus on particular demographics. But those discussions on those, for those demographics are also for the viewer and listenership, for everybody, right? So I like to indicate that. This is the second episode of this space, Red Flag Life. And so now that you've identified yourself as a red flag in the ones that I've mentioned, okay, let's look at some of the others that are coming to my mind. Women in their 40s, late 30s, women that are now desperate to find a man and have kids after squandering their youth and looks. Yes, that sort of content is like a Richard Cooper, Kevin Samuels type thing on YouTube, and formerly on YouTube, Stephen Molyneux. That's where most of my, I guess, syllogisms and concepts will probably reside from, with my own sort of twists, and I'll have a health bias here in this space where it basically pounces, it trounces, it's way better than anyone in the YouTube sphere, also from the BitChute sphere and the like. And I'll do particular episodes on health. Sometimes I'll mention health in each of the episodes on the channel as well. So how about some more guy red flags? Players, the whole player thing. there's this thing about if you mention that, if you indicate that you're an alpha, that you're not really an alpha type thing, and that, you know, that's the whole Richard Cooper thing. Like, is he really an alpha, playing the whole alpha thing? Yeah, you know, he's a confident, successful, good-looking guy that can pull a chick. That's fine. That's good for him and that sort of thing. But let's try and live life with a red flag or many notches of red flags in your belt. I've certainly got a few. I've disclosed my few in the first episode. What's some more red flags for the guys, perhaps? Income potential, lack of drive, don't want to travel, not social, anti-socials, with men and women, anti-social behaviour. It just might be, you know, the black pill or red pill people with a bit of a twist of black pill. Red flags there. Overweight people, lack of concern about their health and appearance. That's a little bit complicated. What's really happening with health and weight management issues is, this will become more evident in future episodes, is my bias here. But it's a well-proven walk the talk the walk bias. I've got myself out of my own health and obesity issues, and now I'm, you know, from what I used to be only a year ago, I'm looking at $1 million at the moment. I'm not $1 million to anyone out there perhaps, but to me, I'm $1 million worth at the moment compared to what I used to be. And I put myself in the 1% of 49-year-olds in health. So if you suffer from any health and weight management issues, it is not genetic, it is not lifestyle choices. Yes, in a way it is, but the elephant in the room, in that complex, is, wait for it, nutrition. Oh shit, how did I know you're going to say that? Well, more accurately, it's micronutrient deficiencies. That's where it's at. Okay, so I have a podcast series called Real Health, and that'll be in the show notes if anyone is interested. I've already been shadow banned because I mentioned COVID, and I've made a bet with COVID, and that sort of thing. So I might, just by mentioning COVID, I might get shadow banned even in this space, but I hope not, because this is pretty important. And before we got to becoming a red flag, we would have liked to know about red flags and avoid the situations that got us into the red flag state, right? That'll be a topic. What our mothers and our fathers should have taught us. Yes. In some ways, it's not really, like, some of us are fairly unlucky to have some traumatic childhoods with mothers and fathers that aren't interested in teaching us red flags, because they weren't taught it themselves, and they're busy and they're a bit absent and all that sort of thing. Yes, we get it. I get it. I experienced it, right? So, but there are ways, even without this channel. If you are of a self-knowledge and gaining knowledge type propensity of person, you should have discovered some of these things. And even if you don't seek knowledge, it's also very possible and also evident that we already knew how to avoid getting into situations to produce red flags in our life, and also personality-wise red flags. So I guess antisocial behaviour in some ways is a personality trait. In a lot of ways, it's the whole nature-nurture complex, false dichotomy. But we have models to work with, and a lot of the time it's just risk-taking behaviour, calculated risks that ends up for a guy being spoonjacked, being in baby jail, or for a lady picking the wrong guy, picking an abusive guy. Those few examples, right? Then you have the whole narcissistic thing, then you have the whole depression thing, and childhood abuse thing. Yes. And if you find yourself as a red flag before even, I guess, being in one of those manufactured red flags, like baby jail, or divorces. For apparently 80% of divorces are initiated by the women. Yes. So those things will be discussed as well. Many of the YouTube channels focus on the whole. There's a whole big tail thing. There's Richard Cooper and his hypergamy bias. Yes, fine. And Stefan Molyneux, my inspiration the last half decade, with other inspirations. He indicates women are hypergamous. Well, good. It makes men gain resources. It makes men become better. It makes men get the alpha chicks, right? While taking advantage of the not so alpha ladies, the 6s, the 7s, use them and then dump them, and then the 6 and 7 ladies, as an example, say all men are bastards because they use me and then they dump me. Well, it's complicated. You've used the nuclear option. The ladies, this is using the whole V-bomb, using the whole sexual access as a way to gain the alphas, and it's not the best way. Some very rare instances, a 7 or 8 woman can get an 8 or 9, maybe not a 10 man, but can get an 8 or 9 man. Good on them. That means they got other things going for them if they offered access. That probably means that they're on the slim side, and they've got good personality, and maybe they're going to be a good mother and that sort of thing. In the main space on YouTube, career women are thought of as red flags. The likes of Richard Cooper types indicate, and this is actually quite true, that women, when they earn their income, they perceive it's all for them. When men earn their income, they expect some of it to go to the chick, and when there's a family, to the family. And some of the real figures out there is that 90% of a man's income goes to the family, only 10% for him. So if you're a dude, single, and trying to get some for JJ, if you're spending more than 10% on getting access, it's just the same as having a family. So I get it. But if you're single, maybe use 10% what you need to live on as a dude, and use the other 90% to invest do the whole entrepreneur thing. Bitcoin. Who'd have thought? I actually lost bloody $1,000 worth of Bitcoin when it was worth about $900 back in, well, what was it, 2013, 14. Bloody idiot. My computer died. I didn't have my password and all that sort of thing. And tried 10 times, gone, disappeared. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. I always digress. I'm never prepared. So that's when some nuggets, some valuable bits of insights come to the human condition. So I won't keep episode 2 for much longer. This is just to provide more insights. I'm going to produce 5 or 6 videos and then just go boing, have them there as a starter, and then I'll be posting, well, this is the intention anyway, every other day pretty much. And let's live life when you have a red flag attached to you.